Hello, friends. So today I was requested to talk about this topic, the difference between manifestation and surrender. Um, I love surrender, but then it is important to understand about manifestations also. So hence, I thought I'll just make a video about that. Before we understand about manifestation and surrender, we'll have to understand the levels of consciousness that a human being goes through in his journey towards self realization. So, when basically life is nothing but a journey from an unconscious state to higher consciousness state. So Mary O'Malley describes life as it's not just a random series of events that happens because you did it right or you did it wrong. Instead, life is an intelligent unfolding that is revealing itself to you all day long, bringing you step by step from an unconscious state to a state of higher consciousness. It is so beautiful, isn't it? So, what does it mean when we say that? Yes, manifesting is also done in one of the states of consciousness. Surrender is also done in one of the states of consciousness. But then, when people ask me about what is right, what is wrong, I usually tell them nothing is wrong or nothing is right. But it depends on where you are, and if they ask me about what personally I want to do, I tilt towards I tilt towards following the path of surrender more, because that resonates with me more. But then before that, let's understand the six levels of consciousness so that it will help to understand how we really grow through it, right? So there are really six levels of consciousness, and in that six levels of consciousness, let me just share with you some of the levels. The first level talks about life is happening to you. When we say life is happening to you, that is the first level of consciousness. We believe that life is happening to me. So it is the belief here is, the person here is with a mindset that there is this life with a random series of events, and I am here like a victim, and whatever life throws at me, I have to basically go through life with that, as a person who's experiencing it. If it throws some bad experiences to me, I will have to suffer bad consequences and go through bad experiences. If it is throwing good experiences at me, I will enjoy. So I am sort of struggling in this uncertainty, in the consciousness of uncertainty, because I don't know what life is going to throw next to me, and this sort of keeps me anxious most of the time, fearful most of the time. Most of it I feel very unsettling, and I might resist things, I might react to things, I might defend myself, I might explain myself to somebody, because everything seems so uncontrollable and restless, and um, so that is what life is. So where life is happening to me, it is just thrown at me. So life is like this big thing, and then I'm like this small thing, where there is this elephant coming and then trampling over me. So it's like we are not open to life, we are just doing absolutely whatever is just coming to us in that moment. So that is the first stage of consciousness, where we are in that victimhood kind of mentality, and this is when we feel life is happening to me. So in the second level of consciousness, we believe that life is happening by us. So life happens by you. So what does it mean? I am making my own life. So here we move from a life is happening to me to a life is happening by me. So it is more from a I am moving to a sense of control. So here I was not in control in the past. Now I am definitely in control. So when this kind of a when we grow from that first level of consciousness to the second level of consciousness, so here we have a greater feeling of I am in power. I am in control of my own reality. I can make anything possible. I can control everything around me. So here people get caught up. This is a very good stage to get out of this victimhood mentality, but people really get caught up in this kind of a stage, and they try to control others. They try so like one person tries to control the other person into doing what they want to do, and there are leaders trying to control the masses, the countries, governments trying to control the people, and so there is a lot of such things that have happened in history, right? So these things continue to keep happening, but there's a whole lot of effort a whole lot of effort is put in making what I want happen. For example, so this is where people believe that I can set my own goals, I can believe what can happen to me, and I will make it possible. Of course, we are all creators. We are all that amsh of the Mula Chetana or God or the Creator. So we have the power of creation within us. Now, when we believe that I can create my own reality, what is it that we are trying to run away from? We are trying to run away from something that we dislike. So we are trying to create something that we like. So this is a level of consciousness which will eventually help us realize that we can't stay here any longer because it is not working for me any longer. So this is the stage where manifestation comes into picture. So when manifestations definitely work, and it is not wrong to manifest, but I'm just talking about the stage of consciousness where you feel that you are in control of this entire thing, and then this is where we feel that we can control our destiny and our situations and our outcomes and things like that. So here we are using our mind, and we believe that okay, if I follow these rules, if I follow these processes, and if I follow a set of instructions or whatever, then I will be able to manifest my own reality, and I will be using these tools and all of those things. Then if I have to, so it's like if I think like this, then I will be able to do that. If I don't think like this, so we are also still in fear at that time, because let's say the books are saying some things, and then if we are not going by those books or by what the books told us about the process, then we feel that oh, I'm not able to create my own reality because I failed in this step. So all of these things show that I am basically trying to manipulate and control my own outcome. So instead, what would happen if you recognize that rather than trying to make things happen, opening to life will bring you will bring you what you really desire, right? So in my experience, even when you are manifesting, also you are actually surrendering, because even when we go through the steps of manifesting, you are let's say you want to a house of your own, and then you go through typical series of steps that are typically taught in manifestation, and then once you go through those steps, let's say honestly, you really don't have control on the time of when it is going to execute. You don't really have control of how it is going to come get presented to you, but you just believe that it has already happened to you, and you are enjoying life like the way that that outcome has already happened to you and you're living that life. So that is what is manifestation. So when you are already in that state that I already have that, then if it is pretty genuine, it is eventually going to happen, because the energy that we have in our emotions, in our beliefs, that energy takes some time to get accumulated and then become a physical reality. As soon as we think about a certain desire, it actually happens. It may get created in another dimension, but for that to get created in our own third dimension, it takes some amount of energy, and that has to happen with constant accumulation of that feeling and emotion behind that. So that is what is called manifestation. And pretty much everybody have been in this stage of consciousness. So it is like, over time what will happen is, in the long run it doesn't work, because we have moved on from that kind of a thinking. It is like saying, there is this ocean, and then or there is a huge body of water, and I'm able to control that body of water by putting a cork or a screw on top of that, and then believing that I'll be able to control the movement of that whole water. But instead, I don't really, in my conscious awareness, in my limited awareness, I'm not really bringing into factor that there are other powerful forces that can influence and make up this water body change and all that. So for example, let's say for example, you will manifest a huge bungalow. This is an example I like to give all the time. So let's say you manifest a huge bungalow, and then because you like to live in a, let's say, huge house or something, but then what we don't think of, this is where the other forces example, the other forces part I told you, right? So this is where the other forces come in, which we are not really thinking, because in our limited consciousness we are not able to really get that big multi-dimensional picture, or we are not able to think in that level of consciousness. So here, let's say once you have a bungalow, you haven't really factored out whether you have the money to maintain that bungalow, whether you have servants to maintain that bungalow. Can you maintain the whole house, the dusting, the cleaning, the furniture? Do you have money to maintain? No. You may have to factor in. Now you'll have to think of, okay, oh my god, I got this huge bungalow. Now how do I maintain this huge bungalow? Now, what about all the maintenance costs? What about maybe what about some all the things that really comes with these real estate and house maintenance and things like that? Maybe the finances will really go up if you think at those kinds of levels, and you have to think about the maids and all of those things, which we really did not factor in our manifestation. So what happens when you constantly manifest is, let's say, so typically the way life works is, we are a soul, and all of these, there are these beautiful experiences that are happening to us just to give us that wholesome experience. A good part of the experience and the opposite of that experience is going to eventually give us this wholesome experience. So when life is trying to help us give this wholesome experience, we are trying to limit ourselves to favoring only one outcome and not really bothering about the other outcomes. Perhaps the other outcomes are also going to teach us those beautiful lessons, but we are favoring this outcome because we are comfortable with this outcome. Okay, so this is why we choose manifestation. But over time, as the consciousness starts to improve, we realize that as we start growing in life spiritually also, we start to realize that we are growing away from it, which is where the third level of consciousness comes in. So So here in this second level of consciousness, right, we also have to remember that we are cut off from this beautiful creation and creative forces of life, and we are trying to control life the way we want, with our limited set of consciousness. So sometimes we get caught up in this feeling that, oh, I should not think like this because I'm going to manifest it. There is this law of attraction which is going to bring in all this, oh, okay, whatever I'm attracting towards me is because I'm thinking like this. Maybe I thought like this, that is why I got all of these things. And this is what the books are saying. Maybe I did not follow that. And there is this, have I done it right, have I done it wrong? So there is this thing of, sort of a, there is a conscious feeling here also, not exactly victim consciousness, but it's more of a process oriented concept, process oriented consciousness, where you're like, oh my god, did I do right, did I do wrong, I should have done this, that is why this is happening. So it is more, um, we 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 are, when we are in long, when we are long enough in this kind of a thing, we don't tend to see how it is actually, uh, rather, limiting our potential rather than actually opening us. So in my belief, when you in your limited consciousness asks the universe, I want this, the universe will say, yes, you are a creator. With your beautiful process of creation, you can definitely get whatever you want. But have you tried to think that the universe in its beautiful, infinite consciousness, if I don't ask for anything, but I just trust the beauty of creation, or I trust the beauty of life, and I don't ask for anything, but I just enjoy life the way it is happening. What if it gives me something, and I'm able to manifest things not because I asked, because it is actually happening to me, and I'm able to enjoy that beautiful surprise more than when I actually ask for it and get it. When you ask something and get it, the joy is less than when it actually comes as a surprise when you did not expect it. How about that? Isn't it? So, that is the beauty of surrender, and that is where it takes us to the next level of consciousness. So, in this third level of consciousness, you say life is happening in me, or life happens in you. So, in this whole, in the second process where we saw that we were all controlling by, it is happening by me kind of thing. Now we are thinking that life is happening in me. So we are now understanding that I have to change. It is me, it is not them. There is nothing outside me, everything is inside me. So that we try to bring the focus back to ourselves, and we try to ask this question, what is it in me that has to change, where for things to change outside of me. So this is like the third level of consciousness, where you're like, saying, okay, the day went like this because the interpretation of the day in my head is like this. So we are basically just turning our consciousness inwards here. Okay, so that is the third level of consciousness, where we are just trying to focus on our own thoughts and trying to observe how those thoughts are, how those thoughts and emotions are reflecting in the experiences that are happening, that are coming to us as messages. So then we come to this fourth level of consciousness, which says life happens for you. So which means life is happening for me. And when we turn our attention inwards in the third step, we begin to realize some of the beautiful unfoldings that, oh my god, this beautiful life has actually been created just for me. All these things around me have been created just for me. All these people around me are nothing but a mirror reflection of me. They are bringing me messages that I need so that I can grow, and the creation has been completely created just for me. And Here in this level of consciousness, you start to believe that life is like this highly intelligent unfolding that is putting us in exactly the situations that we need to be in to learn and grow and and get away from those limited mentalities or limited belief systems which are keeping us separate from this whole um, series of from the series of creations, or from the universe, from the entire cosmos, or that oneness feeling. So you are just beginning to realize that, oh my god, life is so beautiful, and I did not really realize that everything is happening for me. And all these experiences are actually coming to teach me something beautiful, to make me whole. If I have maybe I am experiencing this lack of respect from somebody, not because they are bad, not because they want to inflict pain into me. Now in this fourth level of consciousness, I understand that I need to learn from that. If that there is lack of respect coming to me, I'm seeing that somebody is not respecting me, it means that I don't respect myself. So I will start to focus inwards and see how much I love myself, how much I respect myself. Am I giving that due attention to myself? So instead of thinking that life is this series of pains, then loss and death and all that, we are not going to try to resist that pain, try to run away from that pain, try to take medications for that pain, and like we are not trying to see pain as an enemy. We are trying, when we see pain as an enemy, we resist it, and then there is something called suffering that comes with it. The pain, the suffering is greater. The pain that comes with suffering is greater than the pain that just comes with just experiencing pain the way it is. So we start to believe that life is not just this random series of events, but it is actually a highly intelligent, what do you say, sequence of events that have been just formulated or orchestrated just to make me better, just to make me go closer and closer to the creator. Even so, we'll just be curious about, wow, there are these five outcomes that are supposed to come. Or let's say you are doing a certain action, and now you are not really controlling or manifesting any outcome. You're saying, great, let me be curious about what happens when outcome 1 happens, what happens when outcome 2 happens. I'm sure life is happening for me, so 1 also should be good, 2 also should be good, 3 also should be good. So every day, I am just responding to these situations rather than reacting, and we sort of loosen our hold on life, and we are just trying to enjoy life the way it is. We are enjoying our free flowing state of being, which is the soul state. And then we are in this, when that aliveness gets trapped in all our limited mentalities, in our limited belief systems and all that, then we experience joy, we experience happiness, and then we are able to freely let go of things, we are able to freely receive things, we are able to see, we are not blaming others, we are not judging others, because we, in the past, in the previous step itself, we believe that everything is happening inside me, and now we start to believe that, oh, it is actually happening for me. And then we start to accept things the way they are, accept people the way they are, not trying to change any situation, not trying to rather manipulate anything, not trying to do anything. So this is where life happens for you, and then you are more into a state of gratitude. In this state, you are more in the state of gratitude, and then um, we are just enjoying and then living every moment of our life as if it is happening for me, and we are truly grateful to the creator for making this life such a beautiful experience. And you are no longer looking at your enemies as enemies, you're looking at them as messengers who are bringing these beautiful messages to you uh, from your own memories of past life, and saying, oh, I needed to learn about lack of respect for myself. That is why you're disrespecting me. And once I start to respect myself, obviously that messenger will not give me that message, because I'm not having to learn that anymore, because I've already learned it. So this is when this is the fourth level of consciousness, which is again a beautiful experience. So in this fifth level of consciousness, you start to believe that life from you move on from life is happening for me. When you say life is happening for me, there is one external sense of control, which is you're trusting that external sense of leadership, and then you think that it is happen they're all it has all created all these things for me, and then there is a sense of gratitude. But then in this level of consciousness, you know that life is happening through you. So you will start to realize that, oh my god, I am a soul, and I made this huge beautiful plan, and this beautiful life is happening through me only, and I only created this life. And you are not you are still you are more into non-judgmental state. You are accepting life the way it comes, and even when you react to things and not respond to things because it's now some old habits are still kicking in and all that, you are not saying, oh my god, I reacted, I did this, I did that, I just became so angry, I shouldn't have done that, all of those things. So you are just saying, okay, fine, what happened? Yeah, I reacted, so what? That moment, you'll realize that those moments have now passed. Now in the present moment, you've got this realization that you still have some more awareness to you still need to be mindful, you have to be aware, and those kinds of things. So it is, you're just giving it enough attention, and then you're just letting things go. There is no attachment to anything, and then you're even detached to your own doings. Let's say you have committed to doing something for somebody, but then over a period of time you realize that you're actually not resonating with it. Instead of forcing yourself and your creative flow to work in conflict and then do it for the sake of doing, you are saying, okay, I am the creator and I don't resonate with that anymore. I can change the way I think, and then this is what I am going to do. And then I may not do that also. I may not do that. I may not commit to whatever, I may not do the whatever I committed to, because I don't resonate with that anymore. So we will handle things in more balanced way, and there is nothing like there is a rule that I need to follow. So you just know that you can flow the way it comes. So typically the one example that I can give here is, let's say we have all these rules that come as a part of this package, in the form of a when we are following a certain religion or something like that. We get all these packages: you should not do that, you should not do this, you should not say this prayer before taking bath. So all of these things, I'm just giving this example, nothing personal about it, but some of these rules that come into us, and then we start to fear these rules sometimes, because we start to believe that we now in this level of consciousness, we know that it is already in my own head, and then I can change the way I want. And I know that God is within me, and if I want to say a prayer, I can say the prayer anytime, because this whole creation has been created by the same creator. So saying a prayer will not really make a difference, right? So you will start to believe that, and you will experience this deep gratitude for absolutely everything. You see that your life is dependent on every ounce of creativity that has ever happened in the universe. So you have, it is basically, you are your level of, whatever is your level of vibration, your experience is coming to you, because you created that through you. So it is more of you are still, you're in free flow form, and at the same time you're not manifesting, but you're in total understanding that I am the one who is basically creating all these things, and you are basically now relaxed and you show up for every moment like as if it's an adventure, and as if it's a beautiful surprise that is going to show up at your door, and then you are there right at the door to enjoy every single moment of uh, for life that can offer to you. So now we come to the sixth level of consciousness, where it says life is not for me, through me, or anything. In fact, I am life, or you are life. So, here in this level of consciousness, a person starts to believe that I am, it is total oneness. There is no separation in this level of consciousness. So, here, in the previous levels of consciousness, you will start to believe that everybody, every soul around you is nothing but a mirror reflection of me. They are just bringing me experiences from my own past life, from which I have to learn. So in this level of consciousness, which is the second level, sixth level of consciousness, where you say life is me, here you start seeing yourself in them, in those figures around you. You start seeing yourself in the tree, in the bug, in the rock, in water. So you see yourself in everything, and you say, I am in everything. I am not in the universe, but I am an intrinsic, I am the universe, an intrinsic part of this universe. And Eckhart Tolle said that you are not in the universe, you are the universe, an intrinsic part of it. Ultimately, you are not a person, but a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself. What an amazing miracle, is what he says. So, here we have now merged with the universe, and then everything in the universe, and then we start to connect with the beauty of life as if everything is me. And then you start to nurture it, you start to care for it, for every living being, for every inanimate and animate object. You start to connect with it. At least that feeling that you have, the emotions that you have, are no longer detached. It is more in the feeling of oneness. So you respect every single thing as if it is you. So that is what happens in the sixth level of consciousness. So coming to the topic that we discussed about surrender and manifestation. In manifestation, think like this: you are in point A, and you don't like point A, and you are actually you want point B, and then you go to, let's say you manifest yourself and go to point B. But when you go to point B, you don't like point B, and then you try to go to point C. So what are you trying to do? The attitude of not liking the present moment, but wanting something that you believe is not there with you, is constantly there. So you went from point A to point B, point B to point C. In this whole thing, there is no awareness of or gratitude of what you already have or what you can learn from it, versus you're jumping from point A to point B, and these points that you're jumping to are not still giving you permanent happiness. That is not that permanent soul state, and hence you will be dissatisfied there also, and then you will try to go into some other some other thing that you believe there is happiness, or there is that soul state Sachidanand, and then you will try to jump to that. So manifestation is a level of consciousness which we will eventually get out of, but then we will all be there when we truly believe that I can control the way my life is happening to me and all of those things. But surrender is a state where you trust the universe and you trust that life is happening for you, and you believe that let anything come, everything is working for me, everything is happening for my good, everything is going to teach me something or the other, everything is going to make me that wholesome person. So I will not hold on to that outcome. Although I prefer a certain outcome, I will not hold on to that outcome. I will not try to manipulate myself to and control things to make that outcome happen, but instead I will just do my job in the present with that beautiful sense of loving that job, and all that, and then whatever outcome happens, I am okay with that, is what is called surrender. And from my experience, I love surrender and I've practiced this a whole lot, and I teach that to my clients also a lot, and they have also become experts in that now. Trust me when I say this, that when you actually surrender, whatever the outcome that you prefer will actually be coming to you, just because you did not hold on to it. When your limited energies don't hold on to a certain outcome as an attachment, what comes to you is exactly you uh, what you were not expecting, but it actually going to enjoy that. So it's what you like only will happen, typically. Of course, if it doesn't happen also, you're going to learn something new, but more often than not, what you like only is going to happen. And just because you did not hold on to it, it is going to happen. So this is surrender, my friends. And in surrender, you will get more and more than what you actually ask for, like 10 times more, like more and more than what you actually ask for when you are manifesting. So I truly love surrender, because I believe the infinite source knows what's best for me than what I think what's best for me. And with this comes a beautiful sense of understanding. With this comes a lot of surprises and joyful moments. And I mean, I truly love surrender, because it actually um, ignites that spark of, wow, what is going to happen, what is going to come to me, what kind of outcome is going to come to me. That curiosity is always there, and I love it. So in the first two phases, where life is happening to you, victimhood, and life is happening by you, here we are more about fixing, changing, resisting, instead of instead of uh, instead of accepting, instead of appreciating what you already have. You are trying to go behind what you don't have, or you it's like it doesn't know what you already have, and it wants something what is not there. So it is more of, I can have what I think kind of thing. So that is what is happening in the first two stages of consciousness. It is more about fixing, changing, resisting, and trying to control life. So in the next level of in the next two levels of consciousness, where you think that life is happening in me, for me, and all of those things, there is more you are just trusting life, and then there is no victimhood mentality, and you are just open to all the joys and the sorrows of life. And you are grateful that life is happening for you and things like that. So these are the second two levels of consciousness. You went from controlling to accepting that it is all happening in me, for me, and those kinds of. So the next two levels of consciousness, where life happens through me, or life is me, or life is you. Here we are basically merging with, from separation we move into oneness, absolute oneness, and there is no resistance, there is no control, there is nothing, and it is all you. It was always you, and you are just going with life the way it comes, and then you're just in the past you are going with life the way it comes in the last two levels of consciousness. You are grateful, you are everything, but there is still no that joy, that happiness, that enjoyment is not there. In these two levels of consciousness, there is joy, there is fun, there is everything in this present two levels of consciousness. So there is nothing, there is no work to be done. It is just an experience. You're just there as a bystander. You are just looking at life, and then you're just smiling, you're laughing, you're enjoying, even in sorrowful moments, even in happy moments, because you know that you are not that human. You are only experiencing human emotions through a body. So here you are not in the universe, you are the universe, you are everything. You are you are you are this. This entire thing is basically you. So these happens in the last two levels of consciousness. So friends, lastly, I would like to say that we all, it is not like we are all, after we move from one level of consciousness to another level of consciousness, we are not existing in the first. There are so many layers and flavors in our life, layers to change, where we are we have so many layers, where some of it is in the first level of consciousness, some parts of it are in the sixth level of consciousness, some parts are in the fourth level of consciousness. So overall, what are we predominantly in defines that our state. So if we are predominantly in the sixth level of consciousness, across our thoughts, across our emotions and all that, we are there, and then overall life will be more joyful. But if our predominant set of thoughts and the way we respond to life or react to life is in the first two levels of consciousness, then that is what life is all about to us. So whether we have challenges, whether we have joys, whether we have sorrows, ultimately one takeaway that you should trust and believe is that we are here just to experience life the way it is. Some days you might, you if you have accidents, wow, I met with an accident and I'm going to get this experience of being an accident victim, and I'm going to experience a human being's life where what all happens when we go through an accident. So, though that is a rich experience that you're going to gather as a soul. Someday you might get robbed and say, wow, I just got robbed. And what is going to happen, or what are the series of experiences that are going to happen when we get robbed? So, someday you might fail the exam. What are those series of experience? So, in every single thing, you are just becoming richer and richer and richer with experience, instead of saying, I don't like this, I like this. Why do we keep saying I like this, I don't like this? That is because our soul state is nothing but bliss, happiness. So we are trying to look for that soul state or that happy state in everything that we do, in every relationship, in every food, in everything. So instead of looking for that soul state that we already are, why shouldn't we focus on the objective of coming into this human body, which is to experience human lives, different form of emotions of being a human being? So don't try to look for happiness in everything. Instead, just be happy irrespective of whatever comes to you. That is then fulfilling the objective of coming into this human body and experiencing life the way it comes. You are here to experience life the way it is, instead of trying to change the life to make it look like, okay, fine, I am a soul and all of those things. So see, you're anyway a soul. Once you leave this body, you go back, you're anyway a soul. You're going to feel that bliss and all of those things. So why keep trying to look for that in a foreign body? In this body, why do we have to go look for it? We know we are already that. So instead of that, whatever this human body is experiencing, allow it to experience, and then just say, wow, okay, oh yeah, oh beautiful, okay, robbery is going to be like this, is it? Okay, this is going to be like this, is it? Challenges are going to be like this, is it? Okay, this is how, if I don't get respected, oh, this is how disrespect feels, is it? Okay, fine. Oh, these are the emotions that Smita is going through. Okay, that's it. Just be curious, just look at life like a movie, and don't get connected to it so much. So when you are basically disconnected, when you are just appreciating everything and being grateful for everything that is being coming, that is offered to you, coming to you and all that, life is going to be a much calmer exercise than trying to say, oh, I don't like this person is telling me like this, let me try to control them, why are they saying this to me, why are they saying that to me. Expectations, judgments, and all of those things makes life so complicated. So think over what I shared today, and then if it resonates with you, do share that with me in comments, and hopefully we'll be able to I can create more such videos for you in the future. Thank you.